Philip Levine is with us, former Democratic mayor of Miami Beach. Former Democratic mayor, are you yet? Well, I'll put it this way. I won't be mean. Did you knock the knock as a Democratic mayor? I'm trying to figure out what that means.
God, being a Democrat, it's almost such a toxic phrase these days. When someone says he's a Democrat, I'm like not certain of what they said about me. It's almost like insulting. You know, when you look what happened there during that DNC chair search, whatever you want to call it, it's almost like they didn't make any progress on the lessons they should have learned. They're not selling a product, Leland, that America wants to buy, but yet they keep going back to the same factory and they don't want to listen to the customer, who, by the way, spoke very loudly in November. And I swear it's a little bit like the ship hit the iceberg. And instead of going out and figuring out how they don't hit icebergs anymore, they just said, maybe what we'll do is just change the captain on the bridge. That's not what they need to do. They need to figure out what the product is. And we understand that the product certainly isn't about open borders. It isn't about playing footsie with Iran. It isn't about letting Hamas terrorists protest on campus. It's certainly not about unsafe cities in America. And it clearly is not about DEI. Yet when you watch that show, picking a new chairman, you're thinking to yourself, oy vey, they haven't learned anything, and they're probably going to get the same result with what's going on there.
Yeah. It's interesting to me, and I'm wondering, because you've talked so honestly about this over the years. You were a Democratic mayor in Florida. You've witnessed Florida go red. Are you seeing your friends in New York and in Boston and in Miami? I get sort of realizing that this isn't going to work, but is there a plan to fix it among the big donor class?
Well, the first about it, the donor class is that if you rely on what the Democratic donors think and do the exact opposite, you'll be successful. And that's the only hope I have with who they actually picked as the new chair, this gentleman, Martin. They didn't pick Winkler, and Winkler was I guess, the big favorite of the Democratic donors. So the fact that they didn't pick him and pick the opposite of what the donors wanted is probably a really good thing. So I actually am somewhat optimistic about that choice. And, he has an interesting, nice background. But, your question's really good. But think about it. Think of Florida. Florida was blue, it was purple, and now it's red. Florida can become purple again. But in order for it to become purple, it has to have the right message and the right messenger for the Democratic Party. And that isn't going out there and telling everybody, look, this person's black, this person's red, this person's Jewish, this person's Hispanic, this person's Asian, that's non-binary, non-gender, this person likes to be with horses. America doesn't care about that. And the Democratic Party keeps pushing a message. It's a little bit like you're not listening to your customer. And that's what you had
me all up until the horses part. That was that.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.